Geek podcast. Today is Wednesday, July 26th. My name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? How's your week been?
Oh, just been keeping up with Comic-Con stuff, same as everybody, really.
Oh, yeah. Tons of comic book. I was actually shocked at how much actual comic book news came out of Comic-Con. And, of course, all the other stuff, all the trailers that everybody got. Man, it's been a fun week.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't realize until, I went through and I was like, okay, let me catch up on the trailers that I didn't see. And, there's so many sites that are like, here are all the trailers. And, one was listed in alphabetical order. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. There were so many freaking trailers.
There really were. There absolutely were.
It was nuts.
Yeah, I went over to my mom's house over the weekend, and I was helping her out. We were gonna have dinner, and they got a new TV, so I showed them a lot of the trailers from Comic-Con. They were just blown away, especially surprisingly the Ready Player One.
Yeah,
because they started noticing, is that a DeLorean? Is that Freddy Krueger? Did he just blow up? So. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only trailers I didn't watch a lot of the TV ones just because it's like, hey, this season on something you're not caught up on. So it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I watched those too. The probably my favorite trailer out of the TV was Stranger Things.
That was awesome.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a fun week. Have you read any comics at all?
I'm still dragging through the Clone Saga.
The Clone Saga?
I hope I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel. I forget how far or how long this goes, but it's just like being in the middle of a swamp, and you're like, I hope I know I'm going in the right direction. I just don't know how long until I get out of this.
Yeah.
It is. It's just dull. That's my biggest thing with it. I know everybody loves to hate on all the retconning and this and that and the stupid plot twists, and it went on too long and da-da-da. My thing is it's just dull.
Right.
Putting aside everything they tried to change and whatnot, it's just I don't care. And that to me is a worse sin than doing something that doesn't work. It's just this is just boring now.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to get back to, because I'm reading a lot of current stuff.
Yeah.
So I need to get back to the X-Men. There was a book came out this week called Astonishing X-Men that was really good.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
And I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's someone that's been long gone for a very long time that came back. That was pretty cool. I didn't really grab a hold of Blue and Gold, so I was waiting because I love X-Men. That's my favorite out of when I was a kid. That was my favorite thing, and it sucks that they're trying to bring him back to the forefront because they realize they fucked up by doing all the Inhuman stuff. So but I haven't really latched on to the Blue or the Gold, and they came out with Astonishing this week, and it was so much better.
Nice.
So yeah, been doing that. Man, no, it's been a weird week. Comic-Con and everything, and just kind of hanging out. And have you seen any of that? Have you seen that guy in the news, the dude who made I was watching this. This is so off topic, but there's really no other place to talk about it. Did you see that kid? He's been in the news. Total douchebag, apparently. And the reason why I say it is because he's on YouTube. Made $2 million on YouTube this month.
This month?
This month alone. His name's Jake Paul. Have you heard anything about him?
Maybe. Like, it sounds like an article that, like, I would have skimmed by. Like,
It's fascinating to see on the outside, because his demographic is not us at all. It's like 12-year-old girls.
Okay.
He was like a Disney Channel. Basically, he's a little brother of a guy that became popular on Vine, Logan Paul.
Okay.
And it's been fast. I went like down a rabbit hole this week because it was talked about on the Philip DeFranco file. That's where I heard about it, and like a lot of other channels were talking about it. All of them actually, like H3, all of them. And it's been a fascinating watch because his rise on YouTube is like something no one's ever seen before. I think he's been on it for like 6 months, and he has almost 9 million subscribers.
Good God.
He got 500 million views this month alone.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and he's all in the news because he's been like terrorizing his neighborhood. He doxed Post Malone, like a rapper.
Oh,
like
God.
he went on YouTube. Long story short, Post Malone bought some of his merchandise as a joke. So this guy, Jake Paul, went online, or went to the people who do the merchandise, got his address, videotaped them going to his house, which I believe is totally illegal.
Yeah.
You know, they go to his house, they show up, they're recording from a car as well, so he doesn't know they're recording yet. And anyway, long story short, they posted online, so like they show his house and everything else, and you know he's like a famous rapper, and so now everyone knows where he lives. It's just been this crazy, and he got fired from Disney this week. It's been wild to kind of watch on the outside of how just nuts that situation is. So I've been paying attention to that the last few days, like an idiot. I feel like he's like the Kardashians of YouTube, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, man. We're looking at making the wrong content, man. If this kid made $2 million this month,
he had 500 million views in 1 month.
And just.
And it's because of stuff like this, like doxing Post Malone, and just he like gave everybody his address. So and this is what's so creepy. There's like 12-year-old girls posted outside of his house with their parents at like midnight in the middle of like LA.
Okay, yeah,
and it's just like a wild, it's fucking nuts. Like it's weird, and there's something new every day. It seems like he's making, but I guess that's the whole point of what he's trying to do. And he's a vlogger. That's all he is. He's a vlogger. He'll make $2 million this month.
But you can't have
just YouTube alone.
Yeah, but you can't have wrestling content on there.
Right, exactly. It's insane. Yeah, and that's a whole nother aspect of it that I find fascinating. Is there's obviously things in the background like shadow investors and stuff. Like when you look at his stuff, it's so professional.
Yeah.
Obviously he hasn't edited a thing in his life. He doesn't do any of that, and he lives with like a group of guys. It's so weird. It's fascinating to watch on the outside though. Look at like Philip DeFranco's stuff on him, H3 and stuff like that. They go into detail. That's when, because I haven't heard of this kid until last week, and then it's like making the news. Like the news comes to his house to report on it, right?
Okay.
He comes outside with all of his friends, and it is the most millennial thing you've ever seen. Like he even does one of those to the reporter, because he goes, "Hey reporter, I just got to ask you one question. What are those?" And then they all go crazy, and you're like, "Oh my God."
That joke died like a year and a half ago. Like
yeah.
Oh my God.
He's right. He's just like the embodiment of a millennial. Like it just to the T. You know, if you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about.
You're like, I need to see an example of everything bad everybody says about millennials. Here you go. Oh, great.
Yes.
That's what I need.
And what's crazy, and what the thing is now like I could go into detail, but basically like one of the things, like he complained about the neighbors. Then he recorded himself talking to them, did not tell the neighbors that he was recording it, and apologizing, which is against the law in California. You have to, both parties have to know that there's
California is a two-party state. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's breaking a ton of laws. Someone unscrewed the lug nuts off of his truck, his van, and so they crashed it on the highway. And he's blaming the neighbors, saying that they've tried to murder him. Like, it's a new thing every day. It's crazy. And they showed like video of the truck and everything else, or the van. So it's nuts. It's I don't know. It's like watching a car wreck.
This sounds like one of those things that, like, once it's over, like in 2 months, like 6 months after that, all of like the post-mortem analysis is going to be kind of fascinating.
Oh yeah, it totally is. It totally is. It's got my attention where I'm like, what is with this kid? It's insane. Like, and oh man, it's nuts. His older brother is not as bad. I saw some of his videos. Like, he's done videos with The Rock and like some like legitimate people. He dated like, what's her name, Chloe Bennett from
Agents of Shield.
From Agents of Shield, yeah. Like,
oh.
it's weird. It's weird. But yeah, so that was a rabbit hole that I fell down this week.
It sounds like that's, if you really went after it, I'll bet. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just fascinating. I was like, what is going on? It's nuts. It's nuts. Yeah, and then he, like, the latest thing is he just got canned from Disney because of all of the shenanigans. So
I think that's why this sounded like vaguely familiar, because I think I saw like that part of a headline was like Disney star fired over YouTube or something like that. Like the way it was worded was like due to YouTube content or whatever, and I was like, I looked and I was like, oh, I don't recognize him, I don't care.
Yeah, like one of their like, for example, him and his group of people came out with a rap song a month ago. It's got 76 million views.
Jesus.
And it is the worst thing you've ever heard.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard Chet Hayes rap. I don't know.
Let me give you a lyric in it. One of the guy goes, "England is my city."
No, come on, for real now.
It's so bad. Like, they go after PewDiePie in the song, and it's just so terrible. It's so
like
bad.
that's a level of, if you're intentionally writing that stupid, that's fine. That's a perfectly valid artistic direction.
Right.
If you're just that stupid, though, it would explain why it's got 76 million views. Really? Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things. I was embarrassed just watching it myself. I'm like, what am I doing? I should be doing better. Like, just doing like more important things right now. This is ridiculous. Man, it was. Oh, yeah, it was a silly rabbit hole. But other than that, a lot of Injustice, trying to get the Sub-Zero stuff.
Nice.
The Destiny beta. Have you dived into it at all?
I played some. Is it still? How long does it run through yet?
I think today.
Is today the last day?
I think today is the last day. They closed it up. They had the Crucible in it. They had the Strike. They had the first level.
Right.
They had like a competitive multiplayer match.
Yeah.
Where like you die and then you have to be revived. It was like a new mode.
Yeah.
Where you have to go like defuse a bomb or something like that.
Or arm the bomb. Yeah, you play on the other side. Yeah. Or it was weird because like it's either you held the objective or killed the other team, whichever came first. Mm-hmm. Like, you had two ways to win.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like, I played a little of each. I played the Strike a couple times. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, this is Destiny with a little more polish. I
think a lot more polish.
Yeah.
Like, the game looks like an upgrade for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it better.
Yeah.
It damn well better. The thing that I really loved though was how they've changed the inventory. Mm-hmm. With the idea of like, okay, we're not just gonna have specific classes of guns available for primary and secondary. Instead, it's by whether it's a kinetic weapon or an energy weapon, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because you could have
Yeah,
like
that's what it was.
yeah, because you can you can have like two auto rifles if you wanted to, but it's yeah the primary weapon is kinetic and the secondary weapon is an energy weapon. So like they're all the big ones are still the big ones, a grenade launcher and all that shit. But
Hmm.
you can still have, like you could have an auto rifle and a scout rifle or a pulse rifle or something. Like the way they've changed that is I really like that. So it's not like, oh, I can have one of these and one of something else that I probably don't use and don't like.
Right.
I like that a lot more. That was the biggest thing I took away from it. Was just like, oh, this is an awesome mechanic now. I like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Did you like what was the machine gun? Was the new one?
Yeah, the
Like it starts off slow and then and then it gets a lot faster.
yeah, like the like the kind of like the old timey chain guns, kind of how
Yes.
it would always like it would have to wind up first and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And they have the shotgun now, like
yeah,
you were talking about in the heavy kind of
yeah,
where that spot is.
yeah.
Um.
Those are the kind of tweaks that I like. Like the aesthetics nice and everything, but and the gameplay modes, that's fine. But give me like actual, because me, I'm a single player guy. I'm
Right.
gonna do basically all this solo. So I'm like, what am I really gonna notice? And as soon
Right.
as I saw this, I was like, oh shit, I can have an auto rifle and a scout rifle. Hell yeah, fucking
Yeah.
sign me up.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be interesting going into raids and stuff to see how they balance all that out and
Yeah,
like how like all the different classes have different. Like the hunter can now drop a healing bubble,
right.
and stuff like that. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
yeah, that's gonna be big fun to explore, like how those trees are gonna branch now and everything.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And did you do the strike at all?
Yeah, I did. The first time I dropped into the strike was right before they killed the boss. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
dropped in and then he died, so I was like, oh shit, free
Okay.
loot, nice. But then I went back and did it from the start.
Yeah. Going through like the with the machine and stuff like that that's drilling out the ground was just insane. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm getting through this. I got
I was doing the same thing. I was looking around. I was sitting there like kind of death gripping the controller, like oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. But it was
right.
awesome. Like it was that awesome kind of like I've earned this when you get to the end of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. So can't
Yeah.
wait for that to come out. But we're coming up on a break, so when we get back, we will get into some Comic Con news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast, and we are getting right into the Comic Con news because there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so let's. Where were we? Oh, I lost my notes here. You want to take the first one?
Yeah, you want to just go big right off the top?
Yeah, let's go off the top. I gotta
Yeah,
pull
the
back
I
up.
think the biggest thing was the Infinity War footage that they screened.
Oh
That
yeah,
because everybody was talking about just like the scope of it and how it really did look. It looked like it justified the idea of like we're gonna have everybody in this movie, and
yeah.
that the way they set it up, it looked like oh shit, okay, yeah, this will work.
Oh yeah, yeah. We saw Spider-Man with the new suit, and we saw well, I mean, we saw the leaked footage, right? So we saw like a corner of the screen. It seemed like.
Right.
But we got the idea. It opens up with Thor in space. So whatever happens at Ragnarok, I think leaves him in space. It was very comic that whole scene just reminded me of a comic book because
Yeah.
that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
They just run into him, out of all the vastness of space, the one guy they run into is Thor. And then they head to Earth, and it was Thanos. Just that man, he's going to be amazing, I
Yeah.
think.
Brolin,
And it just showed him wreck house.
yeah, big time. And I when I heard they were like, and we got Josh Brolin, I was a little apprehensive, and then what was it, like 2 years ago? I think at Comic-Con, was it 15 or maybe it was 14 when they did the big Infinity War thing, and he came out with wearing the gauntlet, and Downey had brought roses for people, and just walked straight up to him and just said, "Where's my rose?"
Right.
And then the best part was because Downey handed him one, and then he ate it. I was like, I'm in. I'm good. Okay. You got me. I'm sold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he kills it. The way he does the voice, and it's so good. And they show Cap with a beard, which was cool.
In what's probably like a nomad outfit, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's blacked out on it, and they showed all the other characters. Doctor Strange was in there throwing down places for Peter to jump to.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was interesting.
Yeah, I imagine we'll probably see that before. I don't know. If I were them, I would put that trailer in front of Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they should have already released it because every other trailer from Comic-Con was released.
Yeah, but I mean, I get why they're not, because it's
already leaked.
I know, but like they don't want you to overlook that they still have Thor and Black Panther first. Like they don't.
Yeah,
That's
true.
I could see them holding it to be in front of Black Panther, maybe, like at the absolute latest.
Oh yeah, I think they should absolutely have it in front of Black Panther. I think they should have it in front of Thor. The thing is, it's already out there. So now we go into it seeing a bootleg copy of the trailer.
Right.
I think that diminishes it a little bit when we see it on the big screen, or if we saw it on 1080p or 4K on our screens at home.
I don't think so.
I do. I think it's to me it's like when you go and see Amazing Spider-Man or something like that. What's going to be if you saw a bootleg at your home first, or you saw it on the big screen, wouldn't it kind of diminish your experience with it?
Not for me. Like
it does for me.
I mean, that's fair, and I think that's it. I think it varies by person.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't for me, just because it's a whole different experience. It's not just, oh, I saw this already in crappy quality. It's a whole other, even seeing stuff in decent quality first. Like how many times did we see the Star Wars teaser before we actually saw it in theaters?
Right. But we saw it at, it was 4K resolution when we saw it, right?
Yeah, I mean, true, but it's still, it's the thing of like actually seeing it in theaters on that screen. To me, it's on a whole other level.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's exactly it. It's like there's the level of seeing it on the big screen. There's the level of seeing it in great resolution on the smaller screen, and then there's the bootleg, like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Where you're missing parts, the sound's off. It's just, I don't know. I think that after it leaked, they should have been like, you know what, we're just going to put it out there and for people to enjoy it like on Monday or something, because it'd get everybody talking. I don't think it would take away at all from. I don't think it's going to make someone go, you know what, I'm good with Black Panther that wasn't already going to see it.
Right.
But I get what you're saying. They don't want to cannibalize it.
Yeah, I think they'll hold. I think they'll hold it yet. I would, if I were them, I would put it before Star Wars. That would be my, like, you really want to get people hyped for some crazy space shenanigans, put this trailer up in front of it for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Let's see here. Now, I didn't I don't see in the news here this one bit of information. So we'll talk about that first. Did you see they had some news about the Ant-Man 2?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to put that in there. Yeah, they cast Janet,
Michelle,
right? Yeah.
Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer and Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Yeah.
So they're stacking that picture.
Yeah, no kidding. Like they're stacking the whole freaking universe.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Randall Park as well. He's going to play Agent Johnny Woo. Um, yeah, so it's going to be interesting. That's going to be a fun movie, I think. It comes out July 6, 2018, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's going to have the same light tone. They were talking about it, and you know, I can't wait. So they're going to have Black Goliath and Johnny Woo. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they're pulling no punches, man. They're saying we've got all the steam, we've got all the momentum. Let us show you what we can do, and I'm all for it. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The other big trailer movie wise from Marvel was Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's a good trailer. I like that.
Oh yeah, I mean I think movie wise, outside of Avengers Infinity War, actual trailers that we saw, the full thing of that they released, I think that was probably my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just how much fun it looks. Like when
That's yeah.
you got Loki and him with the rail guns, the space rail guns,
Yeah.
and the music and the Kirby stuff all over the place, just dripping with like 80s comic
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, at the beginning, like there's a tower, and you can barely make out like images of like Beta Ray Bill and a few other and Ares and stuff like that. And a lot of the characters from World War Hulk were shown in it, which were cool. Like his teammates or whatever. Like he's like, we're gonna get a team together.
Yeah, just the idea of Thor creating a super team was great, and you see who he wound up
Right,
and
right.
it's hysterical. I love it. It's like if you thought, how could we do something more dysfunctional than the Guardians of the Galaxy? I know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
Yes.
great. I love it.
Exactly. Did you see it's gonna run approximately 100 minutes?
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it says it's not. The director said the cut right now, I reckon, is about 100 minutes. It's not going to be very. It's not going to be a very, very long film. I think the stories are better when you leave them wanting more. And this film moves at a clip.
Good.
It's got stuff happening all the time. I think people are still going to feel exhausted by the end. They've been on the big. They've been on this big journey and stuff. So I don't think we need to film. I don't think we need to have the film 3 hours. So, yeah, it said the shortest Marvel Cinematic Universal movie to date would be The Incredible Hulk at 112 minutes. Says most movies are between 115 and 130 for Marvel, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
No, I'm good with that, and especially with Thor. I think that's definitely a franchise where they're like, okay, he shows up, he hits things, he calls down some lightning. We don't need Shakespeare in the Park with this. And
Right.
I think that's a good call. I think that's a really great call. You're not trying to cannibalize anything. You're not like, oh well, we have to make Thor shorter because people don't like it. It's like, no, play with that. Use that to your advantage. Craft a movie that's just going to be a non-stop trip. I'm perfect. I'm totally down with that.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's it just looks like a blast.
Yeah.
We got a talking Hulk now, so him talking about being fought, fire and water and stuff like that. That was awesome.
Okay, Hulk is raging fire. You are smoldering.
Right. Yeah, it looks like a blast. It looks like a lot of fun, and that's what I want out of a Thor film. It's just a ton of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, we got a Captain Marvel news. The big news out of it was that it's going to take place in the 90s, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a prequel to everything.
Sure.
There's going to be Skrulls in this film, because them and Fox share the rights. And Nick Fury, of course, is going to be in it, and he's going to have both eyes.
Yeah, it'll be before he lost his eye. Yeah. Now, I thought that Marvel got the rights to the Skrulls in the deal for the TV rights for the X-Men?
I don't know. I thought they've always shared the rights.
No, because I know they can't use Super Skrull because it's specifically Fantastic Four.
Right, right. I don't know. I mean, I thought I remember specifically we didn't get any information about what Disney got in return for the TV rights. I've always thought they split the rights to the Skrulls, kind of like they split the rights to Wanda and Quicksilver,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, you don't need Super Skrull. That would be weird if he showed up too and he had like the powers of characters that we can't talk about.
Right. Yeah, because it is he is a specifically a Fantastic Four villain for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And the Skrulls, it makes it very interesting because we could very much so have a movie down the line called like Secret Invasion where Captain America or Iron Man or whoever is a Skrull.
Yeah.
And the whole movie could be like trying to figure out who is like going out of their way to screw them, and you can have twists and turns with that. That would be really cool. Like that would be a cool way to bring characters back that might have died as well.
Yeah.
If an actor's like let's say Chris Evans calls it quits right after Infinity War or whatnot, and down the line like 5 or 10 years later, they do a Secret Invasion movie. They could easily have his character come back and been like, guys, I haven't been dead. I've been captured by the Skrulls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not Captain. It could be any of the characters really. But if like an actor's like, hey, you know what? I want that Marvel money again. It could totally happen.
True.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did in Secret Invasion. A lot of the characters, I think it was like Hawkeye that like came back. It was like, guys, by the way, the thing that you killed was not really me.
Yeah.
I've just been captured this whole time. Yeah, because that was the thing with him is like he was totally disintegrated, so they couldn't tell that he was a Skrull. And then when they rescued him from the ship, they're like, yeah, whatever you killed wasn't me. So that'd be really cool. Secret Invasion movie would be awesome.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel, like, and it looks like it doesn't necessarily take place on Earth, so that's really cool. I imagine we'll get, since they said the 90s specifically, I imagine we'll get some stuff on Earth, of course, but the stuff in the stills looked like she was fighting, like, out in space or on a different planet.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That was it. Thank you for saying that. Ego. That was what they got in the trade, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, no, Ego was a separate trade. Ego was between the two directors of Deadpool and
was okay. Yeah, that was that deal. Okay.
And the powers and stuff like that they used in Deadpool.
Okay. Well, then what?
That was one of the first little like, hey guys, let's work together, because both directors were really cool with each other, and they went to the studios and they were like, hey, let's just do this. It'd be fun and it'd get us talking, and so. And then shortly, I think after that, that's when the Fox, the TV rights and stuff like that, they kind of set the way for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Let's see here. The Defenders. Did you see the trailer for this?
I did. Yeah. It looks like the Defenders. Like, okay, cool. Like.
Brian Michael Bendis' The Defenders right now is one of the best comics Marvel's putting out. So
really?
I highly recommend it. I think there's like 3 issues.
Okay.
Maybe the 4th one comes out soon. Probably something good to read until when does the show come out?
August 18th.
Oh, wow. It's next month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely pick up the book because I don't know. The way Brian Michael Bendis, I could read anything he writes. But his Defender stuff is really good. It's really interesting. And it was crazy because I think, I don't know, I heard a theory that the guy in it is Diamondback, the bad guy, and he's back from the dead, supposedly. But I read a theory that what if it was just Diamondback from the Ultimate Universe? Because a lot of other Ultimate characters are popping up in the comics. Like, Wolverine's kid just randomly showed up in the X-Men.
Oh,
And
yeah. What was his kid's name from the Ultimate Universe? Was it James?
James, yeah.
Yeah.
And the stuff going on with Thor and like Thor's hammer from the Ultimate Universe and all the stuff with Spider-Man too. Like it's
Yeah.
the Ultimate Universe stuff is slowly creeping into the Marvel Universe,
Interesting.
which is kind of cool. And so, yeah, that would be cool if like the Ultimate version of Diamondback or whatever his name is. His MO, get this, his MO is he drops diamonds off on every like he shoots somebody and he just like sprinkles diamonds on them, and I'm thinking like what an expensive MO to have.
Yeah, right? Like that's kind of the opposite of how villains are supposed to work.
Right, he's got like powers and stuff now, and he's basically taking over the he's trying to take over his Kingpin, and he's doing a good job at it. But yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Well, we didn't really talk about the Defenders trailer, but we're going to take a quick break though. When we get back, we'll dive into the Defenders trailer, and then we'll get into some of the DC stuff. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We were talking about the Defenders before we went off. I don't know. There's not that much left to say about it. Was this the trailer that showed the Punisher at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's like came back in the nick of time or something like that. So I imagine he jumps in and helps them all out. If there's a surprise character in the Defenders that they haven't announced yet or shown, who do you think it would be?
Somebody that we already know, or somebody totally brand new.
Brand new. Like if they're gonna tease someone in the Defenders.
Good question.
I'll tell you who I think it would be. I would love if they did like a Moon Knight or a Mark Spector.
There you go. Yeah, I could see that. Cause I mean that's the one everybody wants.
Right. Yeah. Because he's like Batman, but he got this mystical stuff. You know, he's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Andy's crazy. Yeah.
He's absolutely insane. He's got the multiple personalities. He doesn't know what's real, what's not real. And it would be a totally awesome, trippy ass show for a Netflix series of him slipping in and out of the personalities and not knowing what's real and what's not real.
It could be their answer to Legion, basically.
Exactly. Yep. And he's a boss. He takes, he's an asset, but at the same time they're like, he's crazy. We can't. It's kind of like the Punisher in a way. Like the Punisher is not a good guy, and there's a lot of secret. Have you been reading any of the Secret Empire?
No, I haven't.
It's been so good. You got to pick up Secret Empire. The last one was my favorite, and the Punisher, like he's in some of the spinoffs. And he's not a good guy. Like, he is joined Captain America because he's loyal to Captain America. And coming out of this, he's not going to look like a good guy at all.
Huh.
People are going to be like, you joined there was no spell on you. There was nothing like that. And you joined evil. All because you were loyal to Captain America.
Wow.
It's not going to look good for him. And Deadpool, too. It's like it's not going to look good for him, but it's because of their two loyalties to Captain America. But yeah, you know who'd be cool, and I doubt they would ever do this, if somehow Spider-Man was in the Defenders.
You know, it was kind of funny. That was the thought that was running through my head.
Yeah. Did you know that the kid who plays Spider-Man and the guy who plays the Punisher, they both helped each other? They read each other's lines, and they helped each other with their not, what do you call them? Not interviews, but
auditions.
Yeah.
I remember that story. It's a good story.
That would be cool. I bet there's I think there even is a teaser in one of the shows where they talk about a guy on the wall crawling on the walls.
Well, that was at the end of Ant-Man.
Oh, that was the end of Ant-Man. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they make a reference at least in the Defenders. Like, did you hear about that kid in Queens?
Right, or just something like this. Like, that'd be great. Like, see somebody like jammed up on a wall or something, and somebody's just going, "Oh, okay, so this wasn't the kid then." And
exactly,
then just and then just keep going, like, because everybody knows what they're talking about. but
Right.
you know.
And that's the thing about Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's very grounded, very New York City.
Oh yeah,
He has to be mentioned in the show.
that would be cool. Yeah, just a quick drop, like a,
And he would
hey,
be one of the characters. He's so. That's the thing about Spider-Man is he's grounded. He's very much in a lot of those crossover comics for those grounded street level characters. But he can be with the big boys, in
yeah.
the big epic crossovers.
Well, because they did. What was the series that he was in with? That was it. The Mighty Defenders or something. There was something where it was like him and Luke Cage and a couple of others.
There was a crossover. I think it was Shadowlands.
Yeah, but no, this was an ongoing from a couple of years ago.
I'm not sure. Um, you've got me, man.
Yeah,
I think
it didn't run long, but I know I remember it. I know this. I know I didn't dream this. Like I know this was a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll look.
Probably Heroes for Hire. I'm thinking.
No, it was. I know it was. It was like it was Mighty something. Damn it! What the hell? What was it?
Mighty Avengers.
It might have been a Mighty Avengers, but
Yeah, because when Bendis was doing the Avengers, he did split up the teams.
yeah.
So it might have been one of the Avengers titles.
Yeah, give me a little time to look for it here. Take a.
Yeah, no worries.
Keep going.
Yeah, we can dive into the big DC stuff.
Yeah.
The big one right out of the gate was Justice League. And what did you think of the trailer?
I think it showed two things. One is that DC listens to crowds and to it and they're also not they're willing to change on the fly if they have to.
Yes.
They're listening, and I really dug that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I really liked it. I thought there was a few moments where the CGI looked like, the whole Aquaman slamming into the building and riding it down like Legolas down like the elephant snout.
Yeah.
That took me out of it. I was like, okay, come on, let's not do that anymore. A lot of the other CG looked cool. Like all the cyborg, that stuff looked cool. I don't know. I loved the trailer. It got me excited for the movie. I thought the Flash was pretty cool. He was funny. I liked how he was clearly the rookie, never been in battle before. He's like, I've just pushed people.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it looks really dark, but I mean they're supposed to be on Apocalypse and stuff like that, so it makes sense. What really got me excited was the narration voiceover from Steppenwolf, where he talks about this planet has no lanterns, it has no Kryptonians.
I love that. I love that there are no lanterns. That to me was just like, oh, okay, cool. So we are gonna acknowledge this stuff.
That was lore building. That was world building to me. That was saying that was the first acknowledgement of the Green Lanterns in this universe that DC started a few years ago. That tells me possibly that Abasor is dead, and that maybe Hal Jordan is in training, so the sector's not being protected right now.
Yeah,
that's just my theory. Because if there's no lanterns for this sector, then that means someone's dead. So I'm hoping that maybe Hal Jordan or something pops up into the film. At the very least, have him as the after the credits. Or a hint at the Green Lantern, because what's his name? Who's the guy playing Aquaman?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa tweeted the day of Comic-Con a picture of all of the Justice League members, and not like it was like animated. It was like a big wall, like a big mural. They looked like art. You know what I mean? It didn't look like realistic.
Right.
But it was their version of the Justice League, because Aquaman looked just like him.
Right.
And next to him, I forgot whoever's to the right of him, there was a little bit of a space, and there was the Green Lantern up above them flying with the lantern.
Oh, nice.
So everybody lost their minds thinking, oh, did he just spoil it? Are they going to show the Green Lantern in this? And I mean, they have to. He's the guy that's missing right now.
Yeah.
That everybody's clamoring for, because there's a ton of Green Lantern fans out there. I think they're, when they first started the Justice League, this whole DC stuff, they might have been afraid because of what happened with the other movie, but
right.
You can't base it all on that.
No, and I think Wonder Woman has given them confidence to say, look, we don't. I think the reason they stayed dark and gritty was because of how well Nolan's films did.
Right.
And so they didn't want to go away from that, largely because it worked for them before, and also they didn't want to. I think there was a calculation of like, we don't want it to seem like we're trying to be Marvel. I think that was in at least somebody's minds in those meetings. But
it's like they took the tone of the Nolan movies, but they did not keep any of the charm or what made them great.
Right.
The script, the story, the plot details, the all of that stuff. That was like, it was bland, a lot of it, and I think that the way Marvel does it, where it's a little bit more family friendly, it's fun. That's more sustaining. It's you're gonna have a longer, and you're gonna be able to show it to a lot of audiences, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Kind of rambling here, but yeah.
But no, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah. Apparently there's a lot of it's undergone a lot of massive reshoots.
Yeah. This was big news for a couple reasons. Not just because there's reshoots, because every movie in creation does reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they talked about it now, like, we knew there was going to be some post and some reshoots because Joss was going to oversee all that. Right. But they're saying now, because of the reaction to Wonder Woman and how positive it was and how everybody enjoyed the tone and everything, that now they're doing a fuck ton of reshoots.
Right.
Like, it's going to cost...
a lot of dialogue, which is good. Josh Whedon's really good with dialogue.
Yeah, and it's going to cost a lot, and it's going to take a while, and they're going to have to CG out Henry Cavill's mustache.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
I love that, like, he can't... Because the way scheduling had been set up, they were going to do reshoots after he was done with I think MI6, which is funny. But...
Right.
Whoever's producing that film, whatever company it is, I forget if it's Paramount or Columbia, whoever it is, they were saying, no, we're not going to let you shave to go back and do this because we don't have the time to wait for you to grow your mustache back.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was just hysterical. So of course the internet went crazy with every mustache Superman in creation.
Right. Yeah, he should have a beard. They should CGI a beard on him.
Right.
Actually, that would be worse than CGI, than taking it away.
Yeah, just let him grow out a whole thing. Like, all right, you want him to have a mustache? Well, but fuck you. We're gonna send him back to you with a beard too. Deal with it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's actually true. Let him grow out a beard.
Yeah.
And then, because Superman had a beard when he came back. Spoiler alert: Superman's probably not dead.
Well, I mean, they've talked about already how, even like way before Comic-Con, like how Superman was going to be in this film. Like they have already kind of blown that cover.
I like that they haven't shown him yet, though.
Agreed.
I hope they don't.
Agreed.
Just because there's a lot of kids out there that don't pay attention to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to hear this. They're going to go into it thinking, oh, Superman's dead.
Someone's mom and dad are going to be surprised, like, oh, he's back, kind of deal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So even like my parents, they're like, do you think Superman's going to be in it? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want to spoil it for him.
Yeah.
So that would be. They're like, he's got to be, right. Like the rocks moved at the end. So
here's the thing that
it's cool. And I hope. This is what I hope. I hope that when he does come back, he is the Superman we know from the comics.
Well, he's the Superman they talked about in the trailer. When I heard them talking about him in that trailer, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, did I miss Batman vs Superman? Did I watch a totally different film? Because they hated him in that movie.
Oh, they did. They did. It was in one little montage that they all fell in love with him, and it was like, what?
And I just
you kill the man.
Right, they
and
ridiculed him and blamed him for everything, and they hated him. And then, when they had the funeral at the end, like, everybody showed up and everybody was sad. They're like, are you kidding me? Where the hell, what happened?
Right. Right,
But,
and who knows? I hope Warner Brothers got their shit together, and that after this, we have the Man of Steel that we know from the comics, and it's a shame because they're doing all this now, and it's like, why didn't you do it like this from the beginning?
yeah,
Everyone's been telling you what they wanted, and I'm just stunned that it took Wonder Woman for them to go, oh, that's what people want. And it's like, yes, that's what we've been telling you forever.
And
that was a fun movie.
I love that was the movie that it looks like is going to turn this around. Because
exactly.
It seems to me like that was kind of the movie that DC was like, hey, we're going to have a Wonder Woman film. And that seemed to be about as much as they were really willing to put out there about it. Because I think they didn't bank on this doing as well for all of the same dumb bullshit reasons that we're going to have to keep dealing with for a while. And this is the one that's going to turn around. Oh, this one made a lot of money and people liked it. Unlike the last three,
Right. You can just tell that the people in charge are totally out of the loop. It's kind of like teenagers trying to tell their parents, like, you don't understand, this is what's in right now, this is what's going to sell, and they're like, well, we just don't understand, we're just going to keep doing what's been working for the last 20 years or so. And that's what it comes off to me like. And it's like these young hungry people are like, no, like, we want a little bit more fun, like, this is the reason why the Marvel films are working, that and now they're finally like, they took a risk with Wonder Woman, which wasn't a risk, but in their eyes it was a risk.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh wow, people gravitated towards that, and that was great, and well, let's do more of that. And it's like, we've been telling you that from the beginning. Since Man of Steel, we've been saying that.
Isn't that what's so weird, that what sells today is your grandpa's Superman? That's what everybody wants. They don't want, they don't want like the older brother's Batman, the Dark Knight and all this. They want to have fun. They want the big blue Boy Scout, and
that's the problem. Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, is the Dark Knight was not continuity Batman.
Right.
It was this random story about a crazy Batman in the future that has lost everything and whatever, and that's the problem, I think, is that Zack Snyder was like, well, that's the Batman I like, and so we're going to do that, and we're going to set the universe like that. We're going to put that on Superman and everything else. And getting a spoiler for some news later on, I heard that Frank Miller was doing a Superman comic year one. It's like, no, that is not what I want. I don't want Frank Miller to write Superman because he just doesn't understand him. He doesn't understand Batman. And Dark Knight Returns is a great Elseworlds type story, but that is not Batman.
Agreed.
He's running around with guns and stuff in it, and so the message was screwed up from the beginning. And so, yeah, I love Josh Whedon, so I imagine if they're going to change some scenes and dialogue and stuff like that, it should be okay. Yeah.
I hope. I have hopes, and especially if that's, because I mean, look at Avengers. Avengers was bright and fun and colorful, and I know Age of Ultron, and not a great film, but so what? He doesn't win them all. It happens.
Yeah, I'll has his moments.
I'll take his track record with this kind of thing over Snyder's any day, really.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Totally.
Or David Ayer or Goyer or any of them. They all write the same dreary, depressing shit.
Yep, absolutely. That's why you see Marvel going after like just totally different stuff.
Right. I mean,
totally different directors.
Taika Waititi doing the damn Thor movie. Like, that's what DC needs. Go out on a limb and say, screw it. You know what? We're gonna get somebody fun, interesting.
Yeah. And we almost had an Edgar Wright Ant-Man, so
Yeah. Oh man, what could have been.
But we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get into some more DC stuff. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And let's see here.
All right, before we jump in real quick, I did look up. It was Mighty Avengers. It was back during the Infinity storyline,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was Luke Cage, White Tiger, and Superior Spider-Man.
Ah, okay.
So that was
Okay.
interesting. As soon as I saw the cover, I was like, oh, I remember this. Oh wait, that's not actually Peter Parker. Like,
You're right, right, right. Oh yeah, yeah. Mighty Avengers.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's a good one. Let's see here. We got they had some news for the Batman film. So basically, before Comic Con, like a few days before that, like the day of or the day before, there was a lot of rumors surrounding Ben Affleck and how we all know that like they took a script, they didn't like it, they're going to do something else. So a lot of people were like, well, he's going to be leaving. This is the last film with Batman. They're going to have to get rid of him because of his age. That one made sense to me where it was like he's getting up there, so maybe they might want to go with someone else, or start thinking about someone else. But Affleck came out and he was just like, nope, I would play an ape for the director.
Well,
So he told,
yeah, the interesting part of what he said though was that he would be happy to play Batman, quote, as long as they'll have me.
right,
So that's
yeah,
and to tie this into a slightly farther ahead piece of news, if they needed a new Batman, they have an out planned for the future.
yeah,
They have that they've decided the Flash movie is going to be Flashpoint.
right,
And I am praying that that gives us the reset to a DC universe. Like, you could keep everybody else. You could keep Affleck if you wanted to. I don't care. But I hope that works as a way to reset the tone of the universe completely. Like, and almost from the ground up, like, oh, we just start over.
oh yeah, it could totally do that. Yeah,
So,
it could absolutely do that if they wanted to. It's funny you bring that up. So that means like with um, with with Flashpoint, then that means we could possibly see Batman's dad as Batman.
true.
Yeah, and his mom as the Joker.
Yeah,
Which means what's his face? Played Batman's dad, right?
yeah. Oh, I
He
can't
was the
remember.
comedian
Yeah.
in Watchmen.
He's Negan. I can't remember his name.
He's
I can't
Negan.
remember his
Yep,
damn name. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's it.
that's it. Yeah.
Ah,
Which imagine and see that and he even tweeted that. He
yeah,
tweeted a picture of him and Maggie,
yeah.
and
'Cause they
Maggie
were,
would be
yeah.
perfect as so that would be such a cool thing. That actually makes me interested in a Flash movie.
Assuming it ever finds a director and has a finished script.
Right? Yeah. It seems Flashpoint would be a wild thing. The fact that like just picture that we are going to possibly get a Flashpoint movie.
Yeah.
We're going to get like an Elseworlds type movie for a DC film. That's insane. Like, they could possibly have Batman's dad in that movie as Batman, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like that we could possibly have a DC film with an alternate version of Batman, and that's the world we're living in. Like, that's crazy. Like Red Sun is not that far fetched now.
Oh,
If they wanted to do a Red Sun movie.
And there, no, wait. There's how you get that, because now we had Flashpoint. Oh, well, we kind of have. Now we have two lines of movies. You could have. That's how you introduce the Elseworlds idea. You have your main continuity films, and then you have your weird, quirky, fun spin-offs from alternate universes, because you've introduced the idea in Flashpoint.
Oh yeah, yeah. Flashpoint definitely opens up It's just like the television shows when they started doing the multiverse. It made it so that they can have characters in different universes.
Yeah,
and that's exciting. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. So no director yet. But the film's titled Flashpoint. I don't think there was much Aquaman news that came out of the Aquaman panel.
Yeah, didn't they show some footage or something?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't
which
see.
is going to be cool.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot on it, so I just, yeah, like I think I just saw like he introduced some Aquaman footage. I was like, oh, okay, cool, and like that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah. He comes off as just like, I don't know. Aquaman comes off as like this guy that's been like traveling around with a band, and he's sort of drunk, and he's got powers, and it's just ridiculous. Like the stuff he's saying in the Justice League trailer is just totally ridiculous. He's like, "Yeah, we're probably gonna die."
Yeah.
um, but yeah. So I mean that was a lot of the DC stuff. Oh yeah. A cool bit of information is that the Batgirl movie is going to have Robin in it.
Really?
Yeah, didn't say which one. I think we know Jason Todd's dead or supposedly in
Right.
this universe, but they didn't say if it was Dick or oh God, what's the other one? Red Robin.
Tim Drake.
Tim. That's it. Yeah. Jeez. Um, which I imagine it would probably be Tim Drake.
Yeah, because
They're
they're
not
doing
crazy enough to do Damien.
no, because
I
they're
don't think.
doing a Nightwing movie too.
Right, they're gonna do Nightwing.
So
So
it'll
yeah,
be,
so
so yeah,
it probably Tim Drake.
it'll be
That,
Tim. Yeah,
which would be cool.
that'd be neat. Yeah.
Yeah, for Batgirl. So, well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the DC movie stuff. They had some Supernatural here. You
Yeah,
can go into that.
they announced a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
might have been a month ago, that they were looking to try to do another spin-off because they tried one 6-7 years ago, and it didn't go anywhere because nobody it tried what they tried to do was introduce all these new characters in an episode, and fine, that's what you do. But then they were like, oh, and we're gonna have a spin-off centered around these characters. So that's why
Hmm.
it was a backdoor pilot. And everybody went, but we don't care about these characters like at all. And so they
Oh
just
wow.
scrapped the idea because it was gonna be like a whole Chicago mob, but with instead of like 5 families, it was gonna be like with werewolves and vampires and stuff. And you know, a potentially interesting idea, but the way they set it up, it was just like, who cares? So
Right.
they bailed on plans. Um,
Oh.
but over the last handful of seasons, they've had some of the interesting support characters, and they've all been women. And one of them has a daughter who they're trying to keep out of this life, and uh, she adopted Cass's daughter, and so it's kind of like, well, what if we got those four together in a series? Wouldn't that be cool? And that was an idea that fans grabbed onto. They were like, hell yeah, we'll watch it. Yeah, we'll watch the hell out of this. And so that's the spinoff that they're gonna have. Um, it's gonna be called Wayward Sisters, which was something that they that kind of floated around like a year or so ago as like, hey, we should have our own spinoff, and what should we call it? And it was just kind of like a fun little, because this cast and crew just has a ridiculous amount of fun. It shouldn't even be allowed really,
Oh
but
yeah.
that idea just kind of stuck, and
Yeah.
they worked with it, and now they've got everybody signed to that they need to and everything, and so it's gonna have kind of a backdoor pilot this season, which will be great considering it's the last season. So it'll be
Oh yeah, that's right.
it'll be kind of a spin-off slash sequel in a sense, since there won't be any more Supernatural after this year.
Oh okay.
But
Yeah. It's just so daunting to get into that. I think.
well, it is because there's been so much, but I'm sure somebody's done like a must watch episode guide so that you can cut out especially the first couple of seasons where it's very monster of the week, and it just kind of establishes some sort of like, hey, here's, we have to chase this thing. Oh, okay, well now we go to a different town, and now we chase this thing, and it doesn't get it doesn't get to the point where every episode is part of the main story for a long time. It takes a while to get to that point.
Oh, okay.
So it's yeah. Oh, I'm
Gotcha.
sure like there was I downloaded somebody had done a Clone Wars episode guide, like the essentials of like here are the ones you have to watch, because so much of it is, they may be cool episodes, but they're not essential. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and Supernatural's like that too. There's plenty of fun episodes in there, but how many of them are key, and that's especially in the first probably half of the show. That's most of them.
Oh, wow.
So, but that's
Yeah.
I mean that was still TV of that time too. It was still big time on Monster of the Week, and they needed content because it was still there's still the old network 22 23 episode order system. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not till the later seasons where it's like, oh, every episode is important to the story for the season kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I gotta find that online and see which ones to start with.
Yeah, because it's fun, and you can
Yeah.
see like this is a show that's not afraid to take itself that is not afraid to not take itself seriously. There's one of my favorite jokes is an episode where they go to Hollywood, and they take a tour of Warner Brothers Studios, and it's one of these little like guided golf cart tours, and uh, Jared Padalecki's freaking out the entire time, and then they get to the point where they're like, "Oh, look, and over here they're filming Gilmore Girls. If we stopped here, we might see some of the people from the cast." And that's when he jumps off and bolts because he was also on that show. And it's funny little stuff like that where they're like, "Oh, they're not afraid to be meta in a not cheesy way. It's not like they're just cramming all these like ham-fisted jokes in there for the sake of it."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Man, yeah, it's
I
yeah. I gotta get into it.
yeah.
Everybody seems to love it.
I dig it. It's a good show, and with any show that's run, next season will be 14. Like it's got ups and downs. It's got good seasons and bad. But overall, I've enjoyed it. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. What else do we got
Uh,
coming out of Comic Con?
they're doing a Stargate origin series, like a prequel series.
What?
Yeah, and it's just gonna be on their website. Like it's a web-based, like live action Stargate prequel series.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of weird, but okay, sure. That's a show I never got into. Saw the movie, I was like, okay, cool, and then like that was the end of it for me. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Same
that's
here.
a thing.
I watched the movies, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, let's see here. So yeah, they had what, a teaser trailer. That was it.
Yeah, it was just like, oh hey, we're back in ancient Egypt, and people are pulling on a rope, and what are they lifting up? Oh my God, it's a Stargate. Cut to, what if you didn't know the whole story? Blah blah blah, kind of talk. So
Yeah.
yeah, which
Okay.
just means retcon out the ass. That's all that means.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, I mean, the rest is just pretty much trailers, right?
Yeah, and God,
We can get into it.
I didn't realize just how fucking many there were. It's insane.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see here. We can should we we only got a few minutes here. Should we jump into some of the lesser known ones real fast?
Yeah, did you see the Rocco's Modern Life one?
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like set in modern times.
right. You want to talk about meta? Holy shit! Like
Oh yeah.
it was hysterical though because it was still so much Rocco. Like they didn't change the tone or anything.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh
all about the 21st century, and it was. I dug it, man. I thought, okay, sure, I'm down. I didn't know they were doing a Rocco's Modern Life reboot movie, but sure, go for it. Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um Yeah, so that's that was cool. Some of the littler known ones was like Jigsaw. Did you see the trailer for that?
I did, yeah. It didn't really inspire me.
No, no. Well, I mean, they're not my kind of movies, at all. But I couldn't tell if this was a prequel. I think it's not a prequel,
No, it's
right?
a
Because
sequel. It's 10 years later.
how is his voice still? How is he still doing that?
That's the mystery of the film, I guess. Who knows?
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And like the things that he puts them in is so complex.
Yeah, that was, they've gone so far away from what was great about the first one, which was like, oh yeah, like it's a simple it's supposed to terrify you psychologically instead of like, oh my god, I'm being dragged towards a rotating saw blade because we can't do subtle imagery in these films.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Um yeah, so it's yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. Did you see the trailer for The Gifted? The
Yeah, I did.
X-Men show?
It looks more like, oh, okay, these are mutants who are, like, we're not. It seemed, I don't know. It's. I'll wait and pass judgment when I see it. Like, I can't tell one way or another where this is gonna go.
Right.
And especially with how it always makes me laugh every time you talked about like, oh, dude, you haven't seen Legion yet. You gotta watch it. It's so awesome. And I was like,
Right.
I remember when we were talking about this before it started.
Oh yeah.
But so I don't know. I'll give it a watch and see. Um, the fact that it's actually on Fox, kind of, I'm kind of setting the bar a little low there. Just for it being on network. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Right. Right, right. Yeah, yeah, it looks okay. It looks interesting. I want like actual X-Men characters in there that I know that, I know they have Pixie and stuff like that, um but yeah. Um well, I think we'll take we only got a few seconds here. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll dive into a lot of the bigger trailers. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And when we left, we were doing some trailers. Let's get into some of the bigger ones. Ready Player One. What'd you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. I went back and saw the trailer like 8 times. Uh,
Yeah,
God, that just looks awesome.
it does. It does. One thing before we get into the positive stuff, I'll say something a little negative about it. I didn't like all the CGI. Like I know they have to,
Yeah.
but it was like overdose of CGI. I think that might turn people off who don't know anything about the film, where they're like, "Is this completely animated?" It didn't. I wanted to see more like grounded '80s type of stuff.
Right, you wanted to see like the basement and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It seemed like the entire video game world was all animated,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. The gritty stuff was, or the not gritty, but the actual grounded stuff was like when he was not in the game. It seemed like so.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like, there's so many. Oh man, there were so many different references in it. Like, of course, the Iron Giant, and like there was Harley Quinn and Deadpool, and the DeLorean, and the Acura bike. There's a lot of other stuff that like IGN got that I didn't realize. Like, there's like, well, of course, the Freddy Krueger, Doom.
Yeah.
There like, and things that they noticed that I didn't, when he's shooting the characters and kills them, coins flew out of them.
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
I didn't notice that in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like one of them turned into an egg.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how they do this. Because
Yeah.
we knew going into it like it's gonna be different. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be the book. Like, just so if there's anybody out there who's like, I wonder if they're gonna do. No, they're not. They're
Right.
they're really probably not. So it's gonna have to be drastically changed in a lot of
Right.
respects. So just go into it knowing that. The idea is
Yeah.
going to be there. The plot will still be the same. But
Mhm.
but so many of the details just by necessity are going to have to be changed. Can't
Mhm.
help it. And if that
Yeah.
really bums you out, then just go back and read the book. That's what I did yesterday. Like I kept watching it, and I was like, God, I want to read this book again. And so that's what I did. I was like, I really love this book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
So it was. Yeah, it was good. It was. I can't wait for it to come out. And it
yeah,
was just a teaser. We didn't get. I think they were just trying to show you like here's a lot of action. Here is like what it's gonna look like. We got no story beats from it, just an explanation. I love the touch of the. My favorite thing about it was the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory music
yes,
in the
yes,
background. I thought that was such a nice touch.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah,
and
no, this was the definition of a teaser. Like this
oh yeah,
was not meant to showcase like, and here's the movie. It's like, no, hey, look at this. We have some footage.
right.
Like that was
Yeah.
that was the point. So
Oh yeah, and it went into the Rush song. That was good.
yes, 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 yes.
Oh yeah. Another trailer we saw was Westworld.
Yeah, things are not looking good for them out there.
Yeah,
uh,
it's crazy because it's not coming back until next year.
yeah, we got a long time yet.
But we knew that, yeah, going in that they were going to skip this year, which is okay. A show like that, it's so massive. Um, it's it should be interesting. But yeah, it looks fun. Looks crazy. I like the shot with the tiger. Like you could tell he's not in the West anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're wondering, where is he?
Right. Well, isn't he in like Asia, or didn't he escape to like? Wasn't it like Didn't we see like the samurai outfits and stuff?
I think they had like a display case, but
Well, I
I,
mean the tiger. I think he's in like Asia,
I
or
mean
you know
that,
what I mean, like a
yeah,
not a Westworld, but a
like a,
samurai. I don't know,
yeah,
which is cool. That just opens up the door for like it's not just going to be like the Wild West every season.
right.
They could potentially go to space, like Space World or something. Yeah, which would be cool. It's such a cool sci-fi show. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Um, did you see the Walking Dead trailer?
I did not because I'm not caught up.
Ooh, it was a good one.
That was what I heard, and that it ended with kind of like with kind of an issue 50 sort of tease. Like,
Issue 50.
what? Because remember, wasn't like didn't they do a thing in the trailer where they made you think like, is this all a dream?
Oh yeah, I guess you could take that away from it.
Yeah. I mean,
To me, it looked like a flash forward, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, should I say what it is? It's not that big of a spoiler.
No, go ahead. Like
It's Rick with a big beard. He looks a little bit older, and he's laying down in bed as if he's like at peace. So I guess a lot of people might have taken away that he was an old man dreaming.
yeah.
But to me, it seemed like I imagine that scene in the show is going to be like Rick dreaming of a life of peace when he's older.
Right,
And
yeah.
he's resting peacefully in bed. And, Carl has kids, and it's what he's always wanted. I imagine that's what that's going to be.
Right.
But yeah, I guess a lot of people took it away as, oh, it was all a dream. It's not that. Oh, that was some other news we got out of Comic-Con is that Robert Kirkman is walking away from The Walking Dead.
He's ending The Walking Dead.
He's ending it. Yeah.
The comic, not the
comic.
show.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Which I mean, they're up to what, 180 by now?
Yeah.
Somewhere up there?
I imagine he'll probably do it around 200.
Yeah, because he said like he's not just all of a sudden decided, like, no, he's had plans for a while, and
Right.
and he's getting to the point where he's like, okay, now we can start putting these plans in motion.
Right. Which is good. I know he said like I want it to go on forever, but that wouldn't I don't know.
There does come a point where and you can get away with it with like Marvel and DC because you have huge universes to draw from and all this other kind of stuff, and like crises and things that reset the universe so you can start over. But when you've created this world and you have rules and there's no way you're going to break those rules, eventually you get to a point where you just kind of run out of gas.
Right. And there's no good like jumping on point for something like that. It's just such an ongoing story.
Yeah.
Or like with like X-Men or anything Marvel, DC, it seems like every like 6 issues or 12 issues there's a my name's Logan and I'm not from here. Like it's just it's you get caught up real fast. Or like Spider-Man. God, there's a new one, the Spectacular Spider-Man. That's how like it's my name's Peter and you might not have like it's it retells his story in a panel.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Walking Dead. You've either been on board for this long or you jumped on a few trades in.
Right.
Which is cool. I still love that Image's their trades are $10, so you can reasonably get caught up, and it's not that like with Marvel or DC, it's like almost $20 a trade, sometimes more depending on how many issues it is.
Right.
Yeah, but it seems like Images are $10, at least the first one, so that's cool. Kingsman Golden Circle, I think it got a Red Band trailer.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, which seemed really cool.
Yeah, I didn't see the Red Band trailer. I just saw the regular one.
Got a better idea of what was going on. Like, we knew that it was going to be like, hey, the English Kingsman is destroyed, so it's like its cousin's operation in America.
Right.
The sister operation is going to, which I have a feeling they're going to be the bad guys in the end, or at least the main guy.
I don't think so. Well, because they showed isn't oh hell, who all's in this again? Remind me. Not Tatum and not Halle Berry. But who's the? Shit.
Let's see here. So
is it? It's not Charlize Theron, is it?
I believe so. Halle Berry is in this, right?
Yeah.
Channing Tatum, Mark Strong, Elton John is in this.
Okay, sure, of course.
Pedro Pascal, Colin Firth.
Yeah.
Mark Strong, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Bridges is the bad guy.
I don't think so.
No?
No, it's there's somebody else on the who else haven't we gotten to?
I don't know.
I know there's somebody else on
Vinnie Jones.
No. I know there's somebody else, damn it. I know there is. That's gonna make
Taron Egerton?
No, he's the
right, he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Sophie Cookston, I don't know.
No, I'll find it.
Mark Strong, Jeff Bridges, yeah.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm more interested in it now. I wasn't that big of a fan of the first one. I know everyone loved it, but it was the best of the spy movies, of like the 10 spy movies that came out that year.
Yeah. Like I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Right. But it was just, I don't know.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Didn't like Mark Miller do the comic?
I think it was one of his.
His comics and movies, I don't know. It doesn't gravitate towards me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. They're like, let's do a mature, like, it's like they gear it towards like 16-year-old males.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I think she's the villain.
No, I mean, I know that they're showing her as the villain in the trailer. I'm just saying that I got a funny feeling that Jeff Bridges is going to, at the end.
Oh, you think there's a traitor? Okay.
Right, exactly. Okay. A traitor within their midst, and I just see that happening, like him turning on Channing Tatum and everybody. Channing Tatum looks awesome in the movie. Like he's funny in the Red Band trailer. But yeah. We saw some Marvel Inhumans.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
You know,
A lot of
Medusa's
complaints about the look and stuff of it. The more I see of it, I'm okay with it. I just want to see like an actual episode,
right.
and then kind of judge it from there. I think like I don't know. They're not grounded characters like the Defenders and stuff like that, so they're not going to be wearing street level clothes. But at the same time, they kind of look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just think it's maybe the polish that a Marvel's film has that a television show just can't get to that level.
Yeah, it just doesn't. They don't blend well. They really don't.
Exactly. Right. It looks more like the first two Fantastic Four films.
Yeah. That's fair.
And instead of it looking like a 2017 thing.
Yeah.
In this case, I always say, brighter, better. No. They maybe should have, made it a little bit duller. Especially Medusa. She just doesn't mesh well with what, like her hair, the CGI, and her outfit, and I don't know. But of course, we're gonna give it a chance. We're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
See what it's all about.
As long as it's compelling and interesting, like I'm down for sure. But
I want to see that dog, Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. Yeah.
He seems the most interesting out of the bunch.
Yeah. Big freaking dog. Big dog.
Oh yeah. Now I didn't see the trailer for Pacific Rim Uprising. How was that?
It's the same thing we saw already.
Okay.
The thing that, it's got GLaDOS's voice, like, doing the whole, like, this is what a Jaeger is, like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, it's the thing we saw it already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fun, but,
What about American History Story Cult?
Boy, that looks weird.
I didn't see the trailer.
It's a bunch of people in clown masks standing around in a circle, like, it's creepy. And that was good for me. Where it wasn't like we're trying to scare you. No, it's just like, okay, this is unnerving. Can they do something, please? Okay, well, we'll have like a little static and like a warped like VHS tape kind of effect for a quick second, and now they're all standing with their hands up, like, oh shit, that's weird. And like it's creepy. I liked it. I like that where it's it didn't.
Is this the one where they cross over all the American Horror stuff, or they tie it up together?
I have no idea. I've only ever seen the first season.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I heard that there's going to be a season coming up where they tie in a lot of the stuff, but I don't know if this is the one.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know I saw this and I was like, well, fuck, that's creepy. Like that's so kudos to them for that.
I didn't see the trailer for Death Note. Was there a new one?
I think so. Like there was some actual an actual sequence. It wasn't just a trailer. It was a whole thing of Light and Ryuk and like the first time he's gonna use the notebook kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it was what, like 2 minutes or something. Evidently they screened it at Comic-Con and reviews were not kind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're saying Willem Dafoe is spectacular, which I would fucking hope so.
Right.
But everything else, they're like, it feels as compressed as you might be afraid it's gonna be.
It's a movie, right? Not a show?
Yeah, it's a movie. Like they took
that sucks.
Evidently however much of the story they took and compressed it into a movie is like, this just doesn't work.
It's a shame they couldn't make this like a mini series, like 6 episodes.
It would work so much better like that. No doubt.
It's great that they took a risk with it, but it sucks that you don't give enough.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like you want something to succeed, but you don't give it reasonable expectations for a goal.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to let you in the door, but we're going to give you all of these things to weigh you down.
Right.
I didn't see the trailer for Riverdale season 2. Did you see it at all?
Yeah, it's I'm interested. I'm definitely down.
Oh yeah. I still don't think I finished the season. I got to go back and watch the last few episodes.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix
came out just a week later, which is cool.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like I was surprised. I was like, oh my god, it's the OC Archie with like a little bit of like I don't know, like Twin Peaks or something mixed in, like just a splash.
Yeah.
And I was not on board at first. I was like, I don't know.
Yep.
And then, it was like, all right, fine, we'll watch it. And I was like, okay, this is actually really intriguing and interesting and stuff.
Yeah, they did a really good job at making it
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Doctor Who Christmas special, I didn't see the trailer. How was that?
I can't wait. It's it's Capaldi's swan song, and they brought back the actor whose name I can't remember, who played the first Doctor in the little biopic kind of thing they did a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he's playing the first Doctor in this. So you've got this idea of it's the first Doctor and the most current Doctor on an adventure together, and it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Cool. We got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get more into there's just a few more trailers left, and then we'll get into some of the comic book news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and there's just a few more trailers left. There was the Krypton trailer. How was that? I did not see that one.
I think the Krypton trailer was the same thing we've already seen.
Okay.
They showed some other stuff in it at the panel, but the trailer they released I think was the one that we already saw.
Right.
So I'm still not interested. I don't care.
Yeah, me either. What about Black Lightning? How was that?
Black Lightning was a minute at the end of a whole kind of recap of the CW universe of hey, it's a fun little kind of vignette of people sketching the characters and the comic panels and how they've come to life on the shows and stuff, and then it's it does Arrow and Flash and a little bit of Legends and Supergirl, and then it does a whole build up of Black Lightning, and it shows a little from the show, and I was like, okay. Cool. It's not a full trailer or anything, but it's a good taste.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that one. I did see the Flash's trailer, but you're not caught up. But it was really good. I did not see Arrows, but I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Legends just looks like so much fun.
Yeah,
my God. Did you see the trailer for that one?
I did not. No, but I imagine it's probably
there was
bananas.
Dinosaurs. And, oh God, it was so good. That show is so good. That's the I don't know. I think that's probably my favorite out of all their shows. The Flash probably is my favorite if I have to pick up one, but Legends it's right up there with just because they're not afraid to let's go here and fucking play with dinosaurs and samurais and cowboys and mix stuff up and
nice.
Get just wacky and weird with it. And it's a mixture of Star Trek and Doctor Who, and you can tell the influences, and they are just heavily in it. I don't know, it's so good. There's an episode where they go back and deal with George Lucas. That's how bananas the show is.
Yeah.
They had to cast a George Lucas. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot of fun though. But nice. Yeah. We got, but yeah, I think that's it for trailer news. We got a ton of comic book stuff, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to hit it all, but some interesting stuff with Marvel. They're gonna have some new East Asian superhero titles that are gonna be published first in East Asian countries. Sword Master and Arrow, which should be interesting. I don't know. I saw the. It just looks like superhero comics.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to be in the same Marvel universe. I imagine they will be. But it's a way for them to kind of reach out to those countries and be here's some heroes that you might be able to relate to.
You see a lot more of that now. I mean, what is it? All new Superman over at DC? Isn't
all new? Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
He's what, Japanese, Chinese, I think, something like that.
I think he's Chinese. Yeah. I haven't read a single comic from him, but I believe he was Chinese because I think he speaks Mandarin. Yeah.
But cool.
Exactly.
Rock on.
Yeah, a big part of the country they're trying to get, just like the WWE, they're trying to get in there to get some sales. So.
Yeah, let's see how well that works out for them.
Oh, you didn't like the Pujami or what?
Fuck that match. Fuck that. I have
Oh.
hated that match all the time because it's so fucking stupid. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I liked some of the stuff that they did last night.
Slightly racist match.
A little bit, just a little bit.
We're only gonna do this when we get an Indian, and it's just kind
Right.
of bananas.
And I mean, I kind of understand the idea behind at least that, where it's like, oh, could you imagine if we had a couple of white guys duke it out in the Punjabi prison match?
Right,
Wait, we did. The very first one was between The Undertaker and The Big Show because Khali got injured right before the match.
Yeah.
It's terrible and it's awful. And they brought Khali back. And you know what? I watched the What Culture guys put up their reaction vid today, and I watched Plumpy just almost wet himself. He started laughing so hard when he saw that. But here's the thing: if he's the muscle behind Jinder, I'm okay with that.
He can barely walk.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, he just gets to be there as, here's the great Khali who's been built up as this force, who once pinned the Undertaker with one foot. It was stupid, but it happened. So hype it up. Build the myth behind it, and I'm all right with that. And
I just don't want to see him going after Randy Orton again.
No, I don't want to see Khali compete ever.
Right.
I don't. I'm sorry. I get it, and he was a monster, and a mammoth, and great for him. But God, he was awful.
Who do you think they're gonna have a go against Jinder now?
I'm afraid it's gonna be Cena. It's gonna be the same crap. USA,
America.
USA, and I just because we all know how it's going to end. There is not one person on this planet that seriously thought Rusev was gonna win at Battleground. Nobody.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. But I don't know. God bless.
Well, they gotta prepare for SummerSlam. So yeah, he's probably got an opponent.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be Cena, Jinder at SummerSlam, and Cena's gonna win, and he's gonna break Ric Flair's record, and I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen after that?
Maybe they'll have a shakeup after SummerSlam, and because they've been teasing Roman and Cena on Twitter.
Well, and I mean,
kind of going back and forth. That would be a cool match.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
And I mean, because Cena's a free agent, quote unquote. So
that's true.
Yeah, so they don't need it for that. But
that's true.
God bless the Singh brothers for all the craziness. Like they've been the only decent part of their feud. Like they've.
Oh yeah, they've destroyed the dude. Got thrown and.
Yeah. Oof. I love that. Like he's like, oh, I got to get up there and stop him. Let me crawl through this part of the cell because I'm a really tiny man.
Right, but I legit thought he died when he landed on that table.
Yeah, because
he landed halfway on it, and I was like, oh, that was not good.
Yeah, you watch it, and you're just like, oh, I bet he wishes he was taking that back suplex again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Battleground it started amazing. That tag match was awesome. And then and then everything went to shit. Even some of the good matches, like Styles Owens was a great match, but what the fuck happened at the end?
I heard they botched it.
Yeah, I'll say they did.
See, I don't know. I didn't watch it live, so...
it's if you watch it and you see it and you're like, oh, here, it's one of these things of like, oh, here's a cool spot, like he's kind of trapped and this, and then you're like, and then he kicks out, except he doesn't, and that's the end of the match. And it's everybody who watched was just, that's how we're gonna end this?
Yeah. I didn't see the end of that match. The network is a mess after the pay-per-view because I'll go back and I'll try and watch it and I'll press play or I'll press pause for a second, go into the kitchen, come back out, and I'll press play, and then suddenly I'm in a completely different match and I can't rewind.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's not it has issues like that. Yeah,
you almost have to wait till the next day. But yeah, I'll go back and watch it. But that was one I missed. I saw that was the thing. I watched the tag team, and then I continued forward, and it was just kind of a mess.
Yeah, tag match was awesome. That was great, and it was. I'm kind of with everybody else who was like, I don't know why I'm so surprised that match was awesome because they're both fantastic teams.
Right.
I think it was just we've seen them both in so many other feuds that they've had to carry and they haven't really been able to work in. Especially the Usos lately, who are awesome, but you wouldn't know it by watching some of their last matches because there's just they could have had a great program with American Alpha, but hey, Daddy said he wanted Jason Jordan on Raw. So,
Right.
oh,
That's such
God,
a weird.
that's,
And I mean, hats off to Woods. He did a great job, I thought.
yeah, that was
He
God,
was the standout for that, I think.
oh, no doubt, for sure. But definitely put to rest the idea of like, well, Woods is kind of the weak link in the group. I wonder if they're good at man. He owned that match, and that elbow drop at the end. Holy shit!
Yeah, he did the hashtag kick out kid. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. But all right. Well, we got a few more minutes, so let's get back into the comic
yeah, my
stuff.
bad.
Yeah, no. He just some brief. I'll go through some of the bigger stuff. Like we got to look at the Batman and the Dark Metal, all of them except for the Joker one.
Yeah, they look
which was
badass.
cool looking. Yeah. Apparently the Joker one is like the leader of them. And Snyder was saying that was his favorite of them, of the one shots.
Well, sure.
The Joker one, the one who laughs. But yeah, we saw that. We saw jumping around. We got Duke Thompson. He's getting a spinoff. He's the Signal. If you've been reading the Forge and stuff like that.
Okay.
Co-written by Scott Snyder and Tony Patrick. Let's see here. We got Frank Castle is definitely going to be putting on the War Machine armor from Marvel Legacy, which he's going to need it because I think like the Punisher for the next year or two, it's going to be like everyone's going to hate him, and I guess that should be the status quo for the Punisher. He's not a good guy.
Yeah.
One of the big news coming out of it was that Frank Miller is going to write, with John Romita Jr. as the artist, Superman Year One. I did not like this news.
Yeah, you're not impressed, and I understand why. Like hearing you talk a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah,
I get
Miller
why.
doesn't like Superman.
No, he doesn't.
And I don't like John Romita Jr.'s art. He's fallen off. I don't like it. Do you?
I haven't really been paying enough attention to give an opinion, to be honest with you.
Oh, his artwork is just I don't know, like he did the casting and stuff like that, and it just looked so sloppy.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Oh, it was jarring to go from Jim Lee to John Romita Jr. It's like, oh God, ooh, what happened here? His older stuff just seemed a lot better. So when the writer doesn't excite me and the artist doesn't excite me, then it's like maybe a hard pass on it. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, so that's some new. Yeah, I mean Frank Miller doesn't like Superman, so I don't understand. When a writer has come out and said like I don't like that character or whatever, it's it's gonna make me want to buy it. It makes me think, oh, you're gonna change it to something you think's cool.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes that works out, like with with Max Landis, he did change Superman stuff to make it cool, but it worked for me.
Right.
But I don't have the same trust with Frank Miller.
And I mean, we've seen this already. We saw, Superman Birthright was Superman Year One. We don't really,
Right.
we don't need this. We've had it already.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a Doom Patrols and Justice League crossover. It's going to be the first Young Animal crossover, which is kind of cool. I haven't really gotten into Doom Patrol. I hear it's like an acid trip, like legitimate like acid trip.
I'll take your word for it.
Which would be interesting.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't know anything about it either. I think it was like Grant Morrison. I don't know. I don't know whose baby it was back in the day, but
I think it was Grant. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Young Animal line that DC has is basically, from what I understand, like pretty much their Vertigo, where they can tell more adult stories within the DC universe, and that's what they do apparently. From what I understand, Doom Patrol is like heroes, but with like weird powers. They're not your everyday, characters. I think that's where like Beast Boy came from, or he was in it at some point.
Okay.
But yeah. There's a new Umbrella Academy coming out. In November they're going to do a Justice League Day. I imagine for the movie. Harley Quinn will take over as Batman for a day. What else do we got here? DC announces The Terrifics by Jeff Lemire. So Jeff Lemire is returning to DC. He's also going to be writing Hawkman Found. Let's see what else. Let's go through these real fast.
Yeah, if Marvel's not going to write the Fantastic Four, DC might as well do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they were going for with this.
Yeah.
Disney's creating an all-ages Marvel title, starting with Spider-Man Christmas Special, which is cool.
Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Little kids comics, I'm down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I walked in the other day and I was like, hey, I need some comics for my nephew and niece, and there was surprisingly a lot more for my niece for like, it was the DC, but with like all the Supergirls and stuff on it, which I knew she would love.
Yeah.
But there wasn't for James, and I was just like, what? What is, like, there's got to be a Spider-Man or something here, and there wasn't. And they're like, well, Spidey is kind of the kids one, but it's not here. We didn't have it. And I was like, like it made it a little bit more difficult. So I ended up getting like Ninja Turtles, the animated show comic. So definitely they should do more for that. Let's see here. Their Hasbro announced Jim and the Holograms, Dimensions Anthology, which is cool. There's going to be a new Thanos original graphic novel by Jim Starlin and Alan Davis. Marvel announced the return of Captain America with Mark Waid and Chris Samney. Some of Marvel's canceled one-shots are coming back. Master of Kung Fu, Silver Sable, Not Brand Ek, ECHH, Ek, I guess it's Ek, Dazzler, and Power Pack and Darkhawk. They're all going to come back as one-shots.
Interesting. Be interesting to see what they do, because I haven't been... I don't know, has Silver Sable been back yet?
I don't know. I thought she was dead.
Yeah, she was. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. Darkhawk, I think, is back with Guardians. Apparently, like, whatever's going on with Guardians right now, they're bringing a lot of the space stuff back. Like, they're bringing back the Nova Corps and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is cool. So, I don't know. There's more stuff, but we've run out of time. Make sure you go to our iTunes. Make sure you give us a review. That definitely helps us. Go to our Facebook group, like it, and our Twitters. We Geek Podcast, of course, it's here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the N.FM. Our Twitters are at We Geek Podcast, at The Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. And I think that's it. I think that's it for the news this week, and we'll be back next week. We'll have a main topic for next week. This show's main topic was basically Comic-Con, because there was just too much news coming out. So we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll see Dunkirk. I'm not sure. But again, we'll see you guys next week. Captain?
Captain.